Hello and welcome to another edition of Son of Kaiju Review.
Yes.
I'm Protomet.
I am Tank. I am no longer a tank.
That's debatable. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could still run me over.
I'll just do that just
And today, we will be taking a look at Attack of the 50-Foot Woman.
That's right. So, pretty much, the movie starts off with Nancy Archer?
Yes?
As she's driving frantically into, like, the Badlands or some desert area.
In California, says it.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently there have been reports of a red fireball around the world, and she damn near runs into it when it lands right in the middle of the road.
Yep. She usually has issues, like she drinks.
And she's emotionally unstable.
Yes.
And she's the protagonist, I'm just gonna say, because as we soon discover, she's not the source of her problems.
No, not at all.
It's especially apparent when we discover that her husband Harry is hanging out with a bicycle, which is a nice way of referring to this lady. Honey Parker.
Yeah, she's an easy lady of the evening, maybe, possibly.
She's definitely Harry's mistress.
That's right.
That much is obvious. Also, apparently at some previous point, Nancy and Harry had gotten divorced, and the only reason he got back with her was because she kept all the money.
Yeah. He definitely talks about it to the bicycle.
Who, at one point, even tries to convince him to off Nancy to get the money. So, upstanding guy, this dude.
He's an upstanding citizen. He is... All the children love him. Oh, everyone loves him, especially the bicycle.
So yeah, it's no surprise that he gets his comeuppance later in the film. Yeah. But of course, Nancy, who's been out and drunk, she drives back to the bar to try and tell everybody what she saw.
Yeah. But
because of her history with alcohol abuse and emotional distress,
they don't believe her.
And she knows they don't believe her.
The sheriff even asked her, "Let me go in and get you a hot cup of coffee to try to possibly sober you." And by the way, that's a lie. That statement is a lie. You can drink as much. If you're already that state of mind, nothing can get it down besides rest.
Is that speaking from experience?
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, so cold shower, coffee, it's a lie. It's got to go down by itself.
Yeah, that's like already in your system. It's not like it's going to...
Yeah. Now, back to the movie.
But yeah, of course, nobody believes her. But they go looking anyway. And upon learning that his wife is so distressed, that kind of winds up being a bit of a trigger for Harry and Honey.
Yep, Harry and
to start plotting to get rid of her. But not through murder as they were originally speculating, but getting her committed.
Yeah.
Like, they even go as far as to bring in her family physician, Dr. Cushing, to take a look at her.
And, Harry talks to the doctor, and the doctor says, "Good thing you called me, because she is, like, physically, mentally exhausted."
And we get a scene where Nancy and Harry get into a bit of an argument, and ultimately they both go looking for what Nancy saw.
Yep.
And they spend a good chunk of the evening not finding much of anything. Until they do.
Yep. And then they see a giant
whitish globe with a giant ghost.
Oh God! And you can see right through this guy.
I mean, it's not. He's not supposed to be a ghost.
He's a giant alien guy.
It's just the special effects used weren't the greatest.
Nope, not
so
at all.
So you could see the background right through him.
Yep. I'm guessing they couldn't have green screen back then.
But he attacks Nancy to get hold of her diamond.
Yeah.
Which Harry was promising to give to Honey
Yeah.
once they got rid of Nancy. Harry shoots at the thing, which doesn't do anything before just straight up abandoning his wife.
Yep. Harry! My God.
So Harry gets home and he decides, I'm getting the hell out of Dodge.
Yep.
Which doesn't sit well with their butler, who's wondering where the heck the mistress is.
Mm-hmm. The missus, not the mistress.
The mistress of the house.
Oh, there we go. Oh.
I should have said of the house. That's an oversight on my part. This results in Harry and the butler getting into a fight.
Decent, not as good as the last fight we've seen, but
it's an okay fight though.
Yeah,
I think it's fine for what it is.
A good stumble fest down some stairs, and
Harry thinks he manages to knock out the butler and runs off with his suitcase.
Yep, and goes
Meanwhile, the butler manages to recover and calls the cops.
He goes off. They go off. He goes off, and he goes into the hotel
where Honey is staying.
Yep.
And he's basically like, hey, come on, we gotta hurry, we gotta skip town. Unfortunately, the sheriff's deputy, Jess, who we had previously seen earlier taking a bribe from Harry to tell his wife that he couldn't be found.
Yep.
He's
just naive.
He's a bit naive, a bit dirty, but he knows, in this specific situation, he knows that no bribery is going to get Harry off this time.
No.
Considering that his wife is now missing.
Yes.
And the sheriff wants to talk to him.
Yep. The sheriff. Funny.
Well, eventually the sheriff gets back in, and turns out they did find Nancy.
She was on the roof of her home, or the
beach house.
Beach house, yes.
And well, that's a bit of a relief to Harry because now he doesn't have to worry about being accused of murder. But his wife is in a coma.
Yeah, she is out. Definitely out.
She's alive, but
unresponsive.
Yes. So they have to have Dr. Cushing and another
nurse.
Doctor come in. Nurse. Cushing tells the nurse to give Nancy a certain amount of medication.
And Honey overhears that if she gets too much of this medication, she could OD.
So she relays that to Harry and asks him if he has the balls to pull it off. And he's like, he gets out of the car and says, just keep an eye on the paper. See if I have the balls. So he goes home.
Fills up a syringe, almost filled completely.
Actually, no, there's quite a bit of air in there, but considering how much is already in her system...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that could... Yeah.
The nurse is asleep this entire time, so she's unaware of what's going on. So Harry goes up to Nancy's room and makes a very shocking discovery.
After the nurse wakes up and comes in and just sees a giant hand.
Yeah, turns out Nancy's a grower.
Yep.
As a result of the injuries she sustained during her mystery encounter with the giant alien.
Yep. So they try everything that they can do. They even chain her hands up so they're elevated for some reason.
They've got the reasons. It's doctors working on it.
Yeah.
Apparently some of her injuries have radiation on them. So there's your explanation
there we go. Okay.
What's going on. Apparently the alien was radioactive to a certain degree.
Well, I guess.
Not like to the dangerous degree. It's probably like a different kind of space radiation that's causing this. So plausible deniability. Now the sheriff and Jess, they're out on the veranda during the whole situation, and they spot a giant foot. And with the help of a giant footprint, yes. And so the sheriff and the butler go off to go follow the footprints and try and find their source.
He sends Jess to the station because they need... I guess there's only two.
It's only the sheriff and Jess.
Yeah. To...
Man the radio.
Yep.
So that... Because he and the butler are going to go check out what's up with these footprints and see where they're headed to.
They
almost get run down by Jess.
Yep.
Who pulls the squad car around.
Jess is kind of a buffoon.
A little bit, yeah, but he's a simple...
He means well.
He means well most of the time, but he's easily bribed.
Yep.
So he's not completely...
he's not straight.
Not as straight-laced as you might anticipate.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the characters in this movie aren't, so...
No. We have an adulterer, an
alcoholic with emotional instability,
bicycle,
dirty cop.
I like to ride my bicycle. Okay.
So anyway, the sheriff and the butler do manage to find the mysterious spacecraft,
yes,
and discover the missing diamond inside the spacecraft,
yep,
and realize that whatever is using the spacecraft is using it as like a power source,
yeah,
along with some other diamonds they find,
mm-hmm,
and then they encounter the giant.
Yep. They leave and they start firing at it, and
I don't really know what all happens.
Nah.
I think the alien just leaves.
Yep.
Because the sheriff and the butler arrive back just as Nancy is starting to rouse again.
Yep.
And she's justifiably horrified at the situation she's finding herself in.
Yeah.
She's now a giant who's been chained up. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Harry's nowhere to be found.
Yeah, he's back at the
bar
with Honey,
drinking their worries away. So Nancy decides to go look for him.
As she breaks through her home.
This is about an hour into the movie. We've got like about 10 minutes left of the film.
Yes.
Which is fine.
Mm-hmm. So she goes out. She's not really rampaging until she gets more into town. And
then she gets to the bar and she's searching for Harry. It's like, where the fuck are you, Harry?
Yeah. Harry!
So, oh, Harry, where are you? If you're where I think you are so gonna get it.
At first, she just shakes the bar and makes the lights go out. And
Jess shows up to try and get Harry and Honey.
He's like, you guys gotta get going. It's your wife. Whatever. Harry. Honey ends up getting crushed by a beam. She gets her knuppets.
Yes. And then Nancy gets her hand on Harry.
Yep. And she tries to reach her hand in through the door.
So he shoots at her.
Yep. Then, as the hole she made from the top grabs Harry, picks him up, and pretty much just drops him. And he got his... He turned into a doll. Yeah. But, you know, she's not... The actress is not actually 50. And then she starts walking through, and they're trying to... Jess actually says something quite funny. I can't shoot a lady.
That's inside the bar before she actually reaches in.
Yep.
Or maybe as she's reaching in there.
Yeah. Give me that gun. Give me it.
Stealing a cop's gun, that's
a felony and offense. You're kind of fucked there. Oh. Then I believe it was her touching the electrical lines.
According to Wikipedia, it's saying that the sheriff fires a shotgun, which causes a nearby power line transformer to explode, which kills her.
Okay. So it was somewhat electricity.
Admittedly, I kind of forgot how the movie ended exactly outside of the whole Nancy finally getting her revenge on her abusive husband.
Verbally abusive. I don't think they've ever got physically abusive.
I mean, we don't know.
No. Yeah.
I mean, maybe that was what triggered her to
divorce
leave him the first time. In addition to all the other problems.
Yep.
I mean, even she kind of wonders why she got back with him, and she even admitted that she still loved him despite it all.
Yeah.
And he's clearly the asshole who doesn't appreciate that.
Exactly. It was like, I just want your money, bitch. I'm gonna screw this other chick down the hallway.
Yeah. And so yeah.
Yeah, that was Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. It's definitely a B movie.
Oh, definitely.
But I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, I had fun with it. This is a bit of a shorter review video, I suppose, but there wasn't a whole lot to say about it. But it's definitely a movie that's worth watching.
Exactly.
Even if it's to laugh at some of the hilariously bad effects.
Yes, but it was hard for us to actually watch this the other day because it was Ultraman Day.
Yeah, for the record, today is July 11th. And the previous day, there was just a marathon of Ultraman shows on Tokusatsu, and
yeah, so
that was fun.
we were watching part of it. One eye was on the Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, and another eye was on the other TV, doing the iguana.
I think that's more a chameleon.
Chameleon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe you're right. But it was I enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, I liked this movie the first time that we watched it before rewatching it yesterday.
Some of these older movies, like our first time watching it, we're like, we don't know if it's going to be any good, etc. But
this movie, which is basically just a revenge movie from
pretty
a
much
pissed off wife for her absolutely reprehensible husband.
Yeah.
It's like we're rooting for Nancy for this.
We're actually rooting for the kaiju. Well, we're usually rooting for the kaijus.
But, to be fair, they're kaiju, but at least this one has the human drama going on.
Exactly.
So
then, eventually, we're gonna have to talk about the 50-foot centerfold
and the remake.
Oh yes, there was a remake. I forgot about the remake.
Yeah. And then there's a 50-foot cheerleader.
There's a lot of 50-foot. So, I guess this is kind of it for
this episode. Yeah, not much more we can say other than that this is well worth watching, even if it's a bit of a short movie at about an hour and 9 minutes.
Yeah, it's probably one of the shorter ones we've actually watched and reviewed. It's
well, not the shortest. I mean,
no,
Gahara is way shorter, but the movie goes at a pretty brisk pace. So
yeah, it starts. There's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end. It's simple enough. It's just like that. It's a little short, but
it's very satisfying.
Mm-hmm. All right. So till next time, folks. I've been Tank.
I'm Protomet.
Bye.
See ya.
I still don't know why we wave.
Neither do I.